Well, hello there, welcome back to my channel. This is the Unintentional ASMR Book Club. If you're new here, welcome and thanks for joining in. You're just in time for the bedtime stories. Tonight's book is called Smith of Wootton Major. I will be reading from where I left off in the first reading of this book. So let's begin. There came a time, however, when the reigning master cook, to everyone's surprise, since it had never happened before, suddenly announced that he needed a holiday, and he went away, no one knew where. And when he came back some months later, he seemed rather changed. He had been a kind man who liked to see other people enjoying themselves, but he was himself serious and said very little. Now he was merrier, and often said and did most laughable things, and at feasts he would himself sing gay songs, which was not expected of master cooks. Also he brought back with him an apprentice, and that astonished the village. It was not astonishing for the master cook to have an apprentice. It was usual. The master chose one in due time, and he taught him all that he could. And as they both grew older, the apprentice took on more of the important work, so that when the master retired or died, there he was, ready to take over the office and become master cook in his turn. But this master had never chosen an apprentice. He had always said, "Time enough yet," or "I'm keeping my eyes open and I'll choose one when I find one to suit me." But now he brought with him a mere boy, and not one from the village. He was more lithe than the Wootton lads, and quicker, soft-spoken, and very polite, but ridiculously young for the work, barely in his teens by the look of him. Still, choosing his apprentice was the master cook's affair, and no one had the right to interfere in it. So the boy remained and stayed in the cook's house until he was old enough to find lodgings for himself. People soon became used to seeing him about, and he made a few friends. They and the cook called him Elf, but to the rest he was just Prentice. The next surprise came only 3 years later. One spring morning the master cook took off his tall white hat, folded up his clean aprons, hung up his white coat, took a stout ash stick and a small bag, and departed. He said goodbye to the apprentice. No one else was about. "Goodbye for now, Elf," he said. "I leave you to manage things as best you can, which is always very well. I expect it will turn out all right. If we meet again, I hope to hear all about it. Tell them that I've gone on another holiday, but this time I shan't be coming back again." There was quite a stir in the village when Prentice gave this message to people who came to the kitchen. "What a thing to do," they said, "and without warning or farewell. What are we going to do without any master cook? He has left no one to take his place." In all their discussions, no one ever thought of making young Prentice into cook. He had grown a bit taller, but still looked like a boy, and he had only served for 3 years. In the end, for lack of anyone better, they appointed a man of the village who could cook well enough in a small way. When he was younger, he had helped the master at busy times, but the master had never taken to him and would not have him as apprentice. He was now a solid sort of man with a wife and children and careful with money. "At any rate, he won't go off without notice," they said, "and poor cooking is better than none. It is 7 years to the next great cake, and by that time he should be able to manage it." Noakes, for that was his name, was very pleased with the turn things had taken. He had always wished to become master cook, and had never doubted that he could manage it. For some time, when he was alone in the kitchen, he used to put on the tall white hat and look at himself in a polished frying pan and say, "How do you do, master? That hat suits you properly. Might have been made for you. I hope things go well with you." Alright, so that was part of that chapter. I hope you liked that reading. It was a short one because I'm really tired now. So, if you do like it, give it a like and share with someone you think would enjoy listening to this reading. And don't forget to subscribe. Come on, it's free if you haven't done so. Okay, so I wish you well, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.